Hi, this will be a tutorial on setting up your Paint Shop Pro for the very first time. And the first thing I would do is I would go to the Get More section and I would download any of these plugins that say free. And they're just filters and different things that are just really cool. They go along with the program. So any others, you're welcome. Of course, you can buy down the line. I know there's some that I want to buy, but at first I would just download the free ones. And next, I would go to the Start menu, and I would go to the Complete Workspace because there are some things under the Essentials that will not be available. And next, I would go to Edit. It's where your program is. Oh, and just a side note, those plugins, those free plugins, some may take a little bit just to download. Just depends on your internet speed. One or two of them, I think, and it tells you when you go to download them, I believe. So once you get your complete workspace up, this is what it looks like. And I would go ahead and close out this Learning Center. You won't need that. And you can size these two palettes here how you want them. If you want one bigger than the other, that's how I like it. But it turns into a line there and it lets you just adjust it. There in the middle and on the side. So however you like it. And this is the tools toolbar, and I would keep it there personally. I like that. I try to keep everything out of the way so that I have a bigger workspace to work on. And on each of these things, this organizer here, these palettes, and this toolbar, there's a little arrow and you can have it floating. And so basically that's where you can just move it anywhere you want. And then when you see that, it lets you put it right back on the side. When you see that pop up there, and then you just click in that white area and it'll automatically just put it back where it was. But that's what floating is. Auto hide is really cool. I'll show you that here in 1 second. Well, let's see. If you notice, it turns in blue there. So I just want to point that out. That's also how you can tell where you're placing it. So it just puts it right back where it was. But the auto hide, it keeps it there, but it only pops up when you hover over that. And you can do it for the layers as well. And so they only pop up when you hover over it, and it shows it in a bigger space too. And only when you need it, which is amazing. So you don't have all of that space being taken up. Same with this organizer. This tools toolbar I would leave as it is because you're going to need it quite frequently. And it's pretty well out of the way anyway. So under palettes here, there's layers and materials. Those are the two palettes over here on the right. The organizer is where you can um, search um, for your kit or tube and bring it up right in the program. Now, on a side note, if it's in a zip file, it won't pull up in the program. It has to be unzipped. There we go. And you can, on the tube, you can just double click on it and it'll bring it up in the PSD format. I'm going to go ahead and auto hide that as well, that navigation. So it's right here. And then the organizer is right here. The navigation is connected to the organizer. So you really want to look for the organizer because that's really what it is. It's just a navigation is something that's embedded in the organizer so that you can find what you're looking for. And then to bring up a new canvas, you go to File and then New. And there's presets here. You can select the size and then press the plus sign to save it. And then the next time you can just go to what you want to make and click OK. And brings it up in just a window here, side by side, right next to your tube. And you can drag one of the layers. Another thing I should mention when you're dragging and dropping, or really doing just about anything, you always want to try to make sure you're on the pick tool. If you're not doing text or making shapes or something like that, because the pick tool, of course, allows you to pick things up and place them where you want them. So I go and click on the layer, this layer here, and then I can drag it. Now, if you can tell, there's that little plus sign. That means that I have grabbed it and I have it in my cursor here. And then I can just basically just take it next door to the other window and drop it. A lot of Windows programs and programs in general are like that. You have windows and you can tile them. At the top under window, you can tile them horizontally. You can tile them vertically, however you like them. I like mine to be under tabbed documents, and you can change that at any time because it keeps it out of the way. Gives me a bigger workspace. So it's just side by side, just drag it from one next to the other. But you want to grab it from the layers box. If you grab it from here, I don't know if it won't really do it. You want to grab it from the actual layers box. And you'll see that plus sign. That'll let you know that you've grabbed it. Let's see. Under view here is the toolbars. This is the tools toolbar. This is the let's see, so which one's the status? Oh, I think it's down here. Standard was up there at the top. I always keep that one on. Standard, status, tools, and I do scripting, so otherwise I wouldn't be able to do so many sets. But let's see, where was I at? There we go. I've put the script toolbar on as well. And I can just grab this line here and move it where I want it. There we go. That's usually where I keep it at. Oh, and under the layers, these layers boxes can be adjusted however you like them. Some have a hard time seeing, so if you click on this little arrow here down at the bottom right hand corner where I've got my cursor moving, this little arrow on the edge, and go to General Program Preferences. There we go. And I believe it's palette thumbnail. The higher the number, let's see, won't go any higher than 150. Maybe it is the tooltip. Let's see. No. No, I guess 150 is the largest it goes for the palette thumbnail. So for me, I think that's perfect, honestly. But you can make it smaller if you want. I'll show you. If you down, see how these boxes just got smaller. Just click on layers, general program preferences. I like mine big so I can see. So there's that. If you want to resize something, you can do that one of two ways. Either with these corner edges and just go straight in. And you want to make sure that you're careful, because if you don't go straight in, you can end up with a distorted looking tube. I'm sure we've all seen those. Not pretty. So another way is under Image, Resize. You can go by percentage and either do, I usually will have to at least do 20 or 30 typically, because I'm doing a timeline most of the time. If yours looks like this, just click on Advanced Settings, and you want to make sure that this Resize All Layers is not checkmarked, because it will resize everything and not the tube only, and that's really all we need resized at this point. So I would uncheck that. Like sometimes I'll take a timeline and I'll make it into a banner, or a banner into a timeline. So I'll use that basically to resize everything. which is really cool. So I don't have to redo the whole thing. But for this particular case, we don't want that. If at all possible, we want to keep the log aspect ratio on so that it is proportionate. Sometimes it cannot be helped. Like if I'm taking it from a timeline to a group banner or vice versa, there's just no way to have it 100% exactly proportionate. So I unfortunately have to uncheck that. And it's hardly noticeable though, the difference. So I don't mind it. But if I can notice it, then I won't. I won't do it. But typically you can't really notice it at all. So let's see if there's anything else. Oh, and I don't know if I already mentioned, but if you have something that's a zip file, it will not show in this navigation area here because it's just not able to. You'll only see your actual files, PSD, PNG, JPEG. No zips will pop up in here. So if it hasn't not been unzipped, that could be why you're not seeing it. And you'll just search like you're searching, on your computer. Same thing. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to mention. Oh, user interface. It just depends on, how you like it. Some, like different kinds of colors. It helps them see better. You can, under user interface, you can change it to a dark gray, light gray. Background color can be black. However you want it. You can change, this background color. You can change this. You can change scroll bar size, small, medium. You can, the text size, you can make large. It says large text size is optimized for 4K monitors. You might notice text overlap on other monitors. So as you can see, the text just got bigger. Icon size, you can make it large. So, however you like it. I know I can have trouble seeing sometimes, so I really like it when things are bigger. But it's totally up to you how you work best. Let's see if there's anything else. As far as setting things up, I can't think of anything else. I'll do more videos on other stuff later, but that's how you kind of get things set up. And I like to have the most workspace I can to create. So that's how I like mine. I like things big to see, but and you can have it however you like it best. So I hope that helps, and see you in the next video. Have a great night. Bye bye.